What is up guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Dr. Hamistang, and in today's video we're going to check out both of the Reno 12 series phones over here and look at them side by side with each other. In the first hand over here I do have the Reno 12 Pro, and we also have the younger brother over here, the Reno 12 phone. So in today's video it's less much of a comparison video to say which one is the better or whatsoever, because it's not really the case, because they are from the same family. It's all about which one would you want to go for. We're going to look at the major differences between both of these two phones before you make your purchase decision at the end of the video. So yes, without further ado, let's just get right into it. Okay, so we're going to start off here with the elephant in the room, and that is of course the price of the phones. So over here in Malaysia, the Reno 12 does go for about 21.99 ringgit Malaysia, and the Reno 12 Pro does go for about 25.99 ringgit Malaysia. So there is a difference of about $400 over here, 400 ringgit, so that is equivalent to about $100. So now let's go through the other key specs and features and see what are the differences. Okay, so now let's talk about the build and design on both these two phones. Both of them do have your IP65 rating. Both of them do have your plastic on the back over here and also your plastic frames on the sides. And in terms of the front here, this is where they are different from each other, because over here with the Reno 12 Pro, it does use a Victus 2, whereas on the Reno 12, it does use a Gorilla Glass 7i, which is a downgrade compared to the Victus 2. So that is of course the major differences. And of course in terms of the holding experience over here, you will notice that the 12 does have more of a curved design compared to the Reno 12 Pro, which does give you your squared sides all around. For me, to be honest, I do prefer this because it feels more comfortable, more futuristic, overall a better feel in your hand. But of course, this of course depends on a lot of people. This one does have more of the curve on the sides here, so it all depends on which one you prefer in your hand. Okay, and of course next up here, let's talk about the displays on both of these two phones. So both of them of course do have your splash touch technology, which they've implemented with the Reno 12 series. And in terms of the size here, they are absolutely the same on both phones. Both of them do have your 6.7-inch AMOLED panel, 1 billion colors, 120 Hz, HDR10 plus support, and a peak brightness, both of them here 1200 nits. So it's exactly the same. The major differences I would say when it comes to the viewing experience is of course the speakers here. Both of them do have your stereo speaker setup, but definitely I do prefer it on the Reno 12 Pro. It does sound a little bit louder, crispier compared to the 12 here, which isn't too bad, but definitely I prefer it on the 12 Pro. So in terms of the display, the haptics, and the speakers, they are very similar to each other, so there isn't a real clear major difference between both of these two phones. So going on to the internal specs, this is where they are very similar to each other. So we do have the Dimensity 7300 on both of these two phones. In terms of storage over here, you do have up to 512 gigs. You can of course expand it with your micro SD over here. In terms of storage, we do have UFS 3.1, and in terms of RAM over here, we do have up to 12 gigs on both phones over here. And of course, you can have the RAM expansion feature turned on with an extra further 12 gigs over here. So in terms of course the performance and the speed, they are going to perform almost the same with each other. Battery wise, as we can see here, 5000 on both of these two phones. Of course, they do support your Super VOOC charger also as well. Both of them do have the 80 watts wired charger over here, which is really fast, and it does get the job done really cool. So it is super similar on both of these two phones in terms of the performance. And of course, one more thing to note is that in terms of the OS over here, both of them do have your Color OS 14.1, which is of course on top of Android 14, and it does have all the AI features on both of these two phones. So you have the AI eraser, which you can use into your gallery app. They do have the beacon link here as well. A lot of cool AI features on both of these two phones, so you're not really going to miss out in terms of both of these two phones right here. Okay, so now that we have gone through most of the similarities between both of these two phones, the major differences between both of these two phones is definitely when it comes to the camera setup over here. So with the Reno 12, it is having a 32 megapixel sensor over here, f2.0. It does have your dual autofocus, and it is able to record up to 4K at 30 FPS. If we switch it on to the rear cameras over here, we do have a nice triple camera setup. setup. We do have a good 15 megapixel f1.8 sensor with dual autofocus and OIS, and it does give you a 8 megapixel f2.2 sensor for your ultra wide lens, and a macro shooter over here, a 2 megapixel f2.4 sensor, and of course it can record up to 4K at 30 FPS. When we go on to the Reno 12 Pro here, this is where we're going to see the major upgrade. So in terms of the selfie department, we do have a nice 50 megapixel f2.0 lens. It can record up to 4K at 30 FPS. And of course, if we switch it on to the rear cameras over here, we do have a nice 50 megapixel f1.8 lens, and it does give you your dual autofocus and OIS, another 50 megapixel telephoto portrait camera over here with dual autofocus and 2 times of optical zoom. And lastly, we do have the ultra wide lens over here, 8 megapixel f2.2 sensor, and of course this phone here can definitely record up to 4K at 30 FPS. So that is of course the major differences on both of these two phones right here. Okay, so that is it guys with the Reno 12 and the 12 Pro. Let me know in the comment section down below which one you think is a better deal. For about a difference of less than $100, which one would you go for? For me, to be honest, I would go for this phone because it does give you a nicer feel in terms of the sides here. It does give you a Victus 2 on the front. Camera setup is of course better here, and also the speakers. Because if you want to save some cash, which is nothing wrong at all, you are not going to get a lot of differences over here with the Reno 12 because you're going to get almost the same exact phone over here. Because the choice is in your hands. Let me know in the comment section down below because these are just all my thoughts, my opinions. So if you guys enjoyed the video, do click the like and smash the subscribe button down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.